I often get questions like, what do you do when you're walking by some bakery and the amazing smells hit your nose and you're not supposed to eat for another 4 hours? How do you get through it? Or questions like, how do you deal with feeling hungry all the time? What do you do with that? Well, those are some misconceptions and some questions that surround intermittent fasting that we are going to dig in today. Hey everyone, I'm Janessa. Welcome to my channel. I'm owner and founder of Thriving Again Life Coaching for Women. I'm an experienced Christian life mentor, and I'm an entrepreneurial homeschooling mom of 5 kids. Yes, my plate is full and I love living a thriving life. Well, part of that thriving is intermittent fasting. And I have been following the intermittent fasting lifestyle and protocol since 2018. I'm here today to talk about the topic of hunger. When we are consistent week in and week out with intermittent fasting, your body, you will discover, will begin to give you back something that's powerful in the form of self-regulating hormones, a self-regulating pattern that you realize, wait a second, my body is working for me. My body is a powerhouse working behind the scenes for me. And what we're talking about is hormones. What we're talking about is the activity of our hormones, and that is our hunger hormone. Okay? When we are consistent with our intermittent fasting, we are training our hunger hormone, which is ghrelin, to get back in line, right? We're whipping it back into shape to only send us signals when we are supposed to be hungry, right? And our body loves this consistency. So in the beginning of fasting, in which I have videos on this to help you, it is hard work because we are basically saying, hey, hunger hormone, ghrelin, you've been out of shape. You've been supercharged. You've been overworked. And as we get that back into a proper stability, that along with our leptin, right, which is the hormone that regulates our weight and all of that, when we get these stable, it becomes like a well-greased machine, right? And it works behind the scenes. And what do I mean by this? Okay, because I've been fasting for so many years, at the time of this video, I fast between 18 and a half and 20 hours every single day. Okay? I fluctuate a little bit, but for the most part, that's my hours. Well, yesterday, during my about 4-hour window, I ate at a Mexican restaurant. It was amazing. And I just knew I was ordering a lot. And I knew that day, you know what, I'm going to look at this as a fast, like a feasting time, right? And so my 4-hour window came to a close. And I could already tell when I was about to go to bed that my stomach felt a little fuller than normal, just satisfied, right? And I told myself, I bet you, Janessa, you will not get your usual, hunger beginning tomorrow at around 2 o'clock. I just knew that my body was going to push me out further because it was oversaturated, right? So sure enough, today comes, I do my morning workout, I'm active, and sure enough, 2 o'clock comes and goes. No mouth watering, no stomach grumbling, nothing. My body naturally pushed myself out another 2 hours before I felt hungry, making myself reach a 21.5-hour fast. Why do I say all of this? It's because I didn't have to work for that extra 1 or 2 hours within my fast. There was no human will or strength of myself saying no to my appetite. My ghrelin, because that hormone is well stable in myself because of my many years in consistency in fasting, which I promise you can get to as well. But because it's stable, it did all the work for me in the background. And this is one of the most common misunderstandings and even misconceptions that people have out there about intermittent fasting. They assume that, maybe I'm pushed out in the day, I don't eat for a while, that, man, you must be so hungry, right? No. When your ghrelin is stabilized, you are not dealing with those feelings and that hunger and that mouth-watering appetite. You are simply not receiving those hormonal responses or impulses at all. So, for instance, if I eat between 2 p.m. and 6 p.m., right? And that's my happy 4 hours for myself. Okay, evening comes and goes. I go to bed. The next morning, 10 a.m., 11 a.m., I could literally be walking by some amazing breakfast cafe smelling bacon. And I'm here to tell y'all, my mouth does not water. My stomach does not growl. And this is absolutely, like, I kind of consider this like an unknown secret, right? Which I want to make known. But people, those who've never have followed this lifestyle, they don't understand. How can you understand that good food and sizzling bacon doesn't even conjure up, not even a drop of my mouth watering? It's all because of hormones. It's all because throughout consistency, I have been able to teach my ghrelin hunger hormone, and other hormones are at play, of course, but mainly that hunger hormone. I've whipped it into shape, and it has followed suit. And it even has followed suit to the point that it didn't even make me hungry for 2 extra hours today, because it knew, we have extra caloric load that we can pull from in Janessa's body, right? She does not need extra calories yet. And that is the secret to consistency and stability with the intermittent fasting lifestyle. It is so freeing, right? So you have the ghrelin that we can, through consistency and through week in, week out, month in, month out of intermittent fasting, getting that stable and getting your leptin stable, right? That regulates our weight management. It regulates our appetite. So you have all these good hormones coming back into stability, right? And when people come to me, yeah, but Janessa, is this so hard? Oh man, maybe it's, 11 a.m. and they know I don't eat till 2, and they're enjoying their lunch. And it's so hard to tell them and to express, no, there's nothing going on in here. That's the power of learning to have that hunger hormone come back into balance. I liken it to, let's say I am someone who always goes to bed at 9 p.m. Lickety split. I'm in bed at 9 p.m. I'm brushing my teeth at 8:30. I'm getting my yawns on at 8:45, and I'm in bed at 9 p.m. Okay. That person then has trained their body. It's all hormones, right? So they've trained that melatonin to really have that surge at 9 p.m., right? It's hormonally balanced, okay? At 7 p.m., they would not have a friend asking them, yeah, but aren't you just so tired right now, right? The person going to bed at 9 p.m. would look at that friend and say, no, nothing's going on right here. I'm actually quite satisfied. I'm awake, I'm alert, I'm gonna turn on the evening news. Right? 8 p.m. Yeah, but aren't you getting tired? Isn't this so hard? No, right? And why is that? Because the person who goes to bed consistently at 9 p.m., what do we have at play? We have their melatonin hormone that's been stabilized, that has known it's not being overworked, it's not being overstimulated. So it knows the proper amount. Our bodies love consistency, right? Our hunger and our appetite is no different. And this is where, there's been a whole lot of misunderstanding about intermittent fasting in particular. Because like I said, I've heard it all. I've heard all the questions and, people just, what? I don't understand what in the world? How can, yes, because it's hormonally controlled, right? And we might look at that 9 p.m. that person going to bed at 9 p.m. and maybe they have a new job now, right? And now they have to get up earlier, and a lot is demanded of them. And they know it's going to be healthier on their system if they learn to go to bed now right at 8 p.m. It's going to be a struggle at first, isn't it? Because their hormone is set for 9 p.m. that melatonin. So they're going to be laying in bed and, working to calm themselves and getting them used to going to sleep at 8 p.m. Well, it's no different. When you step into intermittent fasting, you may be coming from an experience such as, calorie counting or, whatever, in millions of different diets and things that you've observed. And you may think, oh my goodness, this is so hard. I feel so hungry. Something must be wrong. No, it's not. What happens is you are now learning how to get that ghrelin hormone and your leptin stabilized, right? And so that it operates at a healthy, happy, normal for you. And it's not wrong. There's a little discomfort. And with my intermittent fasting transformation package, I walk you through all of that discomfort and what to expect. But it's ultimately for your good, right? Just like the person who has to train themselves to now go to bed at 7:30 or 8 because of their new job or whatever that is. Yeah, it's a little uncomfortable in the beginning. It's a little hard, right? And there's some bumps in the road. But why do they do that? They do it because they know they must get that melatonin. They must get that hormone stabilized so that the rest of their life can be in order, right? That they arrive to work with energy, right? That they get enough sleep, right? So what is the powerhouse that we get, right? The powerhouse gift that our body gives us? It has a self-regulating response when we are consistent. Like I said, week in, week out, month in, month out, it begins to transform even the signals that our ghrelin and our leptin gives to our body. So like I said, the work is done in the background, right? I'm not sitting there, trying to control my tongue from watering and trying to control my stomach from growling. There are none of those uncomfortable signals at all, right? It's like I'm that person living and walking and breathing and doing life. Like I'm that person going to bed at 9 p.m., right? Nothing's turning on until a few minutes before, right? What about you? I'm curious, right? If you've done intermittent fasting, leave a comment below, right? How have you noticed your hunger change and kind of just being transformed as you've been consistent? Okay, so if you're interested in my intermittent fasting transformation package, I would love to hear from you. Go ahead and contact me today right here on YouTube or on my website, www.thriving-again.com. I'm also on Instagram at Thriving Again Coaching. And I would love to hear from you, set you up for a 15-minute complimentary, no pressure discovery call. And I want to see you get to this point where you're like realizing, wow, my body is working for me in the background without me even trying. Because I'm telling you, that is the power, that is the gift of intermittent fasting.